What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. Hanging out, Christmas, Merry Christmas. Um, just wanted to get this beautiful Christmas tree in here. Wearing my Rolex OP. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's liking, subscribing, all that stuff. And I will not be selling merch anymore. I was selling $10 for the sticker and pins and whatever, but turns out shipping is absolutely ridiculous, and it's actually costing me way more money. So I'm not going to be selling any merch. So just to let you know. So let's get into this episode of my top 10 favorite all-time watch brands. All right, let's roll the intro. You're watching Timepieces with Tony. Talking Timepieces with Tony. You're watching Talking Timepieces with Tony. Yeah. All right. Merry Christmas again, everyone. Wanted to get back. I say working on a new album that I was supposed to get done earlier this year, and due to health problems with my back and stuff like that, I just haven't. I got some basic tracks recorded, and it's been just this year's just been a fucking year to the end all years. But I'm touch a little bit more on why I'm not going to sell the merch anymore. Is I can't justify saying, before I was like, yeah, $10 for a sticker and a pin, it was fine, it's worth it, that's just about my cost. Then when I go to send these stuff in just a regular bubble envelope, the post office, not the post office, I went to like a UPS store, wanted over $100 to send it. I was like, you're out of your mind. So I ended up taking that one to the post office and whatever, but everything else, it was so expensive. It ended up costing me about $6 or $7 out of my own pocket on top of it. So, and I can't justify selling a sticker and a pin for $20 to you guys. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that. So any of you who have placed your orders already, they're on the way, and that's it. I have one other order I got to send next week, and then that's done with those. So you get that sticker and pin. Right on. Congrats. You're one of very few that has them. So anyway, wanted to get back into my top 10 favorite watch brands, not so much the top 10 best brands, because you can't really, you just can't do that. It's my favorite brands. And my justification goes back to my younger years, watches I was into in those times. Now, keep in mind, my tastes have changed, and find that there's not a lot of chronographs or any of that nature on this list, simply because I don't have any use for them or functions. Simply, I can't. I don't use them. I like really basic. Mostly three-hand watches, but I do love moon phase. That's my favorite complication anyway. It always has been. So I'm going to start with, and it's not, okay, so the top 5 are in order. Everything from the top 5 to the top 10. I wouldn't say it's necessarily in order. I could flip it around a little bit, but either way. I'm going to start with Swatch. Swatch watches, when they came out, man, they came out with the most amazing advertising. Everybody had 2, 3 of them on their wrist. And they're a powerhouse company. I mean, look at all the brands they own now, including Omega and Blancpain, Hamilton. There are a bunch of them, and they're just an amazing brand. I love their watches. They're fun, and I think everyone should have one in their collection. So I've got several of them now, and I just love Swatch. So. They're fun. Again, great watch. So I did put them on there, because not everything has to be the super high dollar luxury stuff. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. It's all about enjoying what you have, right? I'm drinking a beer, Coors Light, and I'm also hanging out with my favorite guitar out of all the guitars I have. It's a custom made Pepe Ramiro guitar that Pepe made for me. Signed the back of it. I love it. It's an awesome guitar. The next brand I'm going to talk about is Blancpain. And Blancpain, they've been on my radar for a long time, since early 2000s, I think, maybe even before that. I say early 2000s, what I mean very early 2000s. They have a Villeray Ultra Plate. which actually I almost bought one this year, and I ended up buying the Cartier Santos instead. And just a classic watch, all in house. You know, these are just brands that are, you know, it's just nice, dressy watch. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. You'll find that most of these watches on here, you can wear them up however you want to wear them. You know, and one watch that I used to really be into dress watches. You know, I mean, I loved dress watches, always have. And the other one that recently was on my radar is the 50 Fathoms. Never really thought about it. Now, keep in mind, you know, there's this whole debate on was the Submariner the first dive watch and all that, but really, in reality, the Blancpain 50 Fathoms was the first dive watch. And they only came out like just a few months before the Submariner. You know, that the Submariner was like what, 1954. Was it 54? Oh my gosh, yes, I think it was 54. But just a few months earlier, Blancpain is when they came out with the 50,000. So they beat Rolex. I mean, Rolex already had the model, but they, you know, it's one of those things. Which one came first? And it was Blancpain. Love that watch. I think it's about, you know, I still love my Submariner, of course. I mean, it's just, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, I think the Blancpain's just higher horology. Yeah. Um, the next on my list was Zenith, the Chronomaster Open Heart. Is just such a stunning watch, and the reason why I like the Open Heart is because I had one back around 2003, and I wore that watch every day. It wasn't the Chronomaster. It was just the El Primero movement, and it was a three hand, but it had the open heart position up at the 10, 11, 12 area, 10, 11 o'clock area. It's a beautiful watch, and it wasn't a chronograph. Um, and then you know, I still think that watch is beautiful. I've almost bought one several times this year, even, and I just keep saying, well, I owned one before, let me go with something else or whatever. And it was just it's on my radar, and it's constantly dangling in front of me, like I really really want to get that watch, you know what I mean? So who knows, maybe I will get one. I have been looking at them. So um and then the next Zenith on that would be the Defy. I love the one that I almost, again, another one I almost bought was all ceramic, and just super comfortable on the wrist. It was like you didn't know it was there. It was beautiful. And I just love the El Primero movement. The El Primero movement is, you know, I think one of the most reliable movements in the industry, bar none. And I'm sure Rolex would attest to that at the time when they were using it for for their Daytonas, you know. So, I mean, you can get a Daytona sub. I'm sorry, Daytona sub. Did I just say that? Daytona with the El Primero movement, and of course the El Primero movement that Rolex used, they modified the hell out of it, but still an El Primero movement, you know, and they're sought after. So then we'll go to Omega. Of course, I love the Seamaster, S&P 300. You know, that's another watch that I really like. It's weird because I do own the sub and I do own the Seamaster, you know, and there's that battle. It's almost like a weird conflict between people that love the sub and people that love the Seamaster. Oh, if you own a sub, you'd never want to even look at a Seamaster. And if you have a Seamaster, you're going to judge the hell out of the Rolex, you know what I mean? I love them both. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like I don't give a shit what anyone says. You know, I do own them both. I do know which one I prefer more than the other. I think the S&P 300 is a really more of a daily wear for me than the Submariner. But either way, it just depends what day of the week it is, right? Or what time of night, whatever it might be. And then the other Omega on top of that would be the 50th anniversary Snoopy, and that's the Speedmaster. And Omega won the Speedy Award or the Snoopy Award. Sorry, I'm getting my words. I'm just been really tired. Um, and you know, that's I like I mean, Speedmaster comes in, you know, just various different forms. You know, from the is it the 321 and anyway, with the acrylic crystal to the sapphire crystal, the different movements, whatever. But And manual wind, of course, but I do like the Snoopy. I love the 50th anniversary. It has the Snoopy flying over the moon, and that's really awesome on the back of that watch, man. So those are my Omega picks as far as that's number 7. Number 6 is Jaeger LeCoultre or Jaeger LeCoultre. Jaeger LeCoultre. Beautiful watches, man. I love the Master Control date. Simple three-hand with the date aperture at the date function at the 3 o'clock position. I like the blue dial. I had the silver dial for about a day and sent it back because I couldn't. It wasn't legible to me because of my eyesight. I just couldn't see it. I'm just like, you know what, man, it's not working for me. But I love that watch, man. That Master Control is just a beautiful watch. Of course, everyone knows Jaeger LeCoultre is the watchmaker's watchmaker. And as far as I'm concerned, they're up there with Patek, and Patek Philippe used their movements. Vacheron Constantin used their movement. Audemars Piguet. So you can't. It's high horology, and just when you wear one of those, who cares what anyone else knows what you're wearing? You know what you have on your wrist. The second choice of that would be the Master Control calendar, and that's with the moon phase and the date, and that's just because I love the moon phase uh, complication on that. I think that's a beautiful watch. I love it. I don't know how much I would wear it, but I do love that watch. Um, Number 5 would be Breguet, and I think Breguet definitely should be in the Holy Trinity, man. Knock AP off of there and put Breguet in there. It'd be Patek, Vacheron, and Breguet. That would be, they're almost as old as Vacheron Constantin. They started their inception was 1775. They just make classic, beautiful, amazing watches. The first one would be the repetition minutes, and again, you can see just super clean, three-hand, just beautiful. And then the second one would be the classique. Those are where I'm at now the Breguets. They just and they have the Breguet hands. You know, uh, they're just again one of those watches that it's like, oh, it's art on your wrist in a simplistic form. It doesn't have to be complicated, just simplicity at its best. After that, I would put Cartier. Now I'd probably put, you know you could flip the two. I don't know. Cartier is awesome. Santos, I have owned two or three of them, and just super clean watches. Obviously, scratch magnets. Anybody who has one knows that if you look at it long enough, it's just going to go, stop looking at me, I'm going to scratch, and they scratch. You know what I mean? And then the tank. I had the XL, the tank, um, the XL model. Super, just again, iconic. These are iconic watches. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong with a Cartier. Beautiful watches. Mm. After that, I have Rolex, of course, at number 3. Rolex, and Rolex for me has been the Datejust. That's what really got me hooked on Rolex, was the Datejust, and it still does. I still love the Datejust. It's just this sort of long love affair that I've had with Rolex, and again, primarily the Datejust, for so long. And not just the Datejust, but the Datejust on the Jubilee bracelet, and with the fluted bezel. I just love that watch. Second one on that would be the Submariner, and just to throw another one in, I would basically just say the OP, because it's just such a classic, clean, three-hand watch. No complications, just tells the time, and it does it very well. There's a reason why Rolex are where they're at. Number 2, I got Vacheron Constantin. Vacheron were my favorite brand of all times at one time, and they still, I got them at my number 2 position right now. And the first one would be the 56. I love it. It's it's, I hate that term, entry level, but you know that's their cheapest watch in the lineup, so to speak, in stainless steel. Um, and I just think it's very simple and it's elegant. It's, again, you dress up, dress down, whatever. I love the 56. They have different variations of that, of course, within rose gold, which I love that too. I love the rose gold variation of the 56. Um, and then the next one would be the Malt Tourbillon. And man, this is just the epitome of class for me. The thing is, I would love to just have this watch and wear it with a jeans and t-shirt. You know, you got the tonneau shaped case with big tourbillon at the 6 o'clock position, and that just screams elegance and class, man. And just, another watch that I just truly, absolutely love. I go way back with Vacheron. Um, I say way back into the 90s, and I used to love their skeleton watch. They had a skeleton watch that, with no complications, just this art that was, I mean, just beautiful watches. Love, love, love Vacheron Constantin. Number one watch now is Patek Philippe. You know, um, again, I've always loved Patek Philippe. I love the 5119G, hobnail bezel, 18 karat white gold, white dial. They only make that in a 36 millimeter nowadays. They don't have it in a 39 or 40 or whatever, but beautiful watch. But essentially right now, if I were to be able to get my two picks on that, would be the Calatrava 5226G. That's their newest one, white gold. And it's very, very much almost looks kind of like a field watch. It's very sporty in a sense, and it's understated, and it's elegant, and it's beautiful. And then, of course, it would be the my next one would be the Aquanaut, the 5167R. That's the chocolate brown with the rose gold case. However, I'll take the steel one. I love the Aquanaut, and I love the rubber strap on that. Beautiful watches. Patek Philippe, another brand that's been around forever. 1839, I believe. And then, Vacheron has been around since 1755, same as Breguet. But I think Vacheron's a little bit older. So having said that, this video is getting too long. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having an amazing Christmas. And if now you're watching this after Christmas, I hope you had an amazing Christmas. And if you're not, celebrate Christmas, whatever the hell you celebrate. If it's just life in general, that's enough, right? So I'm going to sign off now. And again, you guys are awesome, and I appreciate everyone who likes and subscribes. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy your timepieces. Anything that you have on a list that you're waiting for, I hope you get it this year, or next coming year. And for me, I hope it's a better year. Just been health-wise, this year has been absolutely out, But on the 16th of January, I've got an appointment, to get my back worked on a little bit. I'm not getting the surgery just yet, but anyway, we'll see how everything goes. So let's just stay positive, and let's just love the watches and keep at it. All right. Take care, you guys.